So, welcome back, part 2 of the SSG 747-8 version 2.1. It's actually version 2.1.1. Try&Fly. Now, between where I left you off in part 1 and part 2, the sim crashed. Now, don't ask me why, I have no idea. It may have been the SSG, maybe it wasn't. You know, like I can't really say, so I'm not going to blame the SSG for it. I do get the odd crashes in an X-plane, could be a plugin, could be anything. It was just a bit of a bummer because, yeah, it took ages to set it up again. I had a situation saved, luckily enough, which brought me back to the same time. The thing is, I couldn't start the simulator with that situation. It would always crash. So I then started normally and just have redone the whole thing. I suppose when things crash, the situation files or so may be corrupted afterwards or something like that. I have no idea. It was one of these bummer things that happen and really were they don't improve the day, let's say. So I'm back. Anyway, I've just entered the whole flight plan again. None of that saves, you know, it's not like PMDG and prepared or FSX where everything would be really as you left it off or as it was in your last checkpoint, your last save. That's just the way it is. Let's put on these flight directors while we're at it. Yeah, so we've got the taxi light on and let's do away with the checklist. Yeah, I'd forgot a lot of settings due to the crash because some settings files don't get saved in that case. Oh yeah, maybe we should put this, yeah, mouse wheel. I shouldn't even try and drag because the mouse wheel is usually working best here. Okay, let's do a quick check if my joysticks, aka the... Oh, what's going on here? There's something. Something is fishy. Okay, let's see again. Yeah, my ailerons are apparently... Well, they look off, don't they? If in doubt, what you need to do is you need to calibrate your joystick just to be sure. Finish. Done. Now let's see. I think that looks straighter than before, right? So obviously also my joystick calibrations came off. Yeah. Well, what can I say? So let's see, panel lights. Nope. Yeah, those map lights, that was the ones that I want to turn off. If I ever be able to hit them, then yeah, all of these lights. Let's turn down the dome light. This is off. Glare shield. Okay. Well, anyway, I think we are basically ready. So let's see. I'm releasing the parking brake. The auto brakes is RTO. What about the flaps? Yeah. So I think I've recovered. Let's see what else is not working now. Oh yeah, for some reason, although we should have the same weight and everything, we have a higher V2 this time, I think, than the last time round. Methinks. No idea why. I think it was less in our previous one. So when it comes to taxiing, it's actually relatively easy. You have to provide a bit of power. It would start rolling. Let's see if it slows down again, or if it keeps its impetus. Yeah, it's slowing down a little bit. So we also have a different stabilizer trim, 6.8 this time we should have. So I'm going to use 6.8. Maybe it actually put in more weight. I think I didn't check that. And we are on the orange line. I think we need to get over here. You know what? We are alone on this airport, so Costa is just doing it now. So, back on the yellow line. Check. Let me see. Okay, so the center is somewhere like a centimeter or a finger to the left of this thing here. I could probably change the view. Let me see. Are we still on the center line? Yes. I'm going to save this. That makes it a bit easier for me, because I have a good reference point. Steering is with the rudder pedals. Actually, steering and taxiing on the ground, absolutely no problem. Working quite well. 14. Oh yeah, we are probably a little bit fast for such a big bird in the bends here. So let's slow down a wee bit. Yeah, it's these little things that you need to do when you have a new aircraft. You need to find out where the center line aligns with the wheel, and you need something in the cockpit to help you find that spot. So I think I will probably need to program a button or something for the takeoff mode. Now that toga button. Okay, so there's an SSG toga button command, and because I haven't really been able to trigger it from here, supposedly there are click spots, but yeah, there's also a special command for that, and I use that. So we're going to take the long way around here. And yeah, I haven't yet got my hardware programmed, so I'm going to I'm going to use this here. Radio. Let's see, how do we... yeah. It's just about big enough here in this corner. I don't know. I should have probably taken another entry. I mean, as a real pilot, you get used to how to steer your aircraft. It's like sitting in a new car. at the beginning, especially when it is bigger or smaller than your previous car, is a little bit strange, feels strange, but eventually you will figure it out. Right, where's our weather radar? So does that work? Nope, there's nothing coded here. So then transponder, we're going to put it in TARA, although I have difficulties reading this here. I think I'm in TARA, yep. And we're going to turn on the landing lights, which I haven't programmed yet, so I need to do it manually. Because there is, by the way, there's no, as far as I've seen, there's no command that turns them on all, so I must individually turn them on, which means that I'm going to write myself something. Then the strobes, yeah, they're on.
Approaching 08 left.
This is the freeware XRAS plugin. I'm going to use the terrain. See how that looks. I think this is done by SSG. I don't think, I'm not sure if this is the freeware terrain plugin. So this is HPA. Yeah, 1013. After all, we are in Europe here. Going to turn on the altitude. Arm the quatsch, altitude, the auto throttle.
08 left.
Okie dokie. Now we're not yet aligned, I just realized. Okay, I think we've got everything we need. So now we're aligned. I'm going to push up the throttles a bit. Wait that they stabilize, then I press the toga button, thrust reference set. And here we go. Now I need to find out if the throttle, I had some issues in my last plane with that.
80 knots.
Check.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate.
V2.
So I'm going to follow the flight director. Ah! Oops. I accidentally hit. There's a caution. Fuel tank engine. I'm not sure why this is coming now. This flight director is very erratic. What's going on here? And gear up. It's going up and down like a yo-yo. Okay, let's activate the autopilot. Flaps 5. Where are we turning? I think it's shortcutting. That's not okay, so I should have probably continued longer. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Okay, let's check. What was that for? Fuel tank engine. I have no idea what that is. Let's check the fuel. and why that had to come during takeoff. So center tank is 1.5. Maybe the center tanks aren't on. So the other ones have 4.8, 4.8, 4.8, 4.8. You can see this here. Okay. No idea. So I need to definitely follow the flight director and not in autopilot mode for longer, or just fly or maybe switch to heading mode initially, because that was left, right, up and down, and then it shortcutted, which it shouldn't really do. Okay, so we're climbing. This one doesn't work. There is a click spot for the lower knob, for the smaller one, but it just simply does not do what you would expect it to do. And we still have lights on that I haven't discovered yet. Yeah, that's okay. Does it still follow the flight plan? It does. Still not sure what that fuel tank engine thingy is. Let's do a recall. Fuel tank center. Yeah. Fuel tank engine. There's a undefined fuel tank engine error message. The info doesn't exist. Okay. So let's see gear. Doors, hydraulics, electric, fuel, engine. To be honest, I have no idea what's wrong with it. So we're climbing through to 12,000, 13,000, or flight level 130. Okay. So the flaps are in. Speed brake is in. Turn off the landing lights, which is a bit painful looking at it from the side. Let's do it like that. Taxi lights off. The sound is quite okay, I think. Kind of feels like a large aircraft. One 6,000. Top of climb seems to be calculated okay. That's the progress page. Fuel consumption. That's the winds, and that is the A progress. Okay. Required time of arrival. RTA is. Okay. Next page. Yeah, it wants to go to flight level 327. I'm not sure why it's putting that in, because that doesn't make sense. Because my flight level that I put in was 200. So it doesn't really make sense to calculate flight level 280. See, like I've calculated flight level 200, and it calculates an oh, hang on. Yeah, disregard. It's early in the morning. I think I need another coffee. We're fine. Why are we flying towards Ostis? What's this bullshit? Oh no, that's right. I need another coffee. We're fine. Ostis is the next one. BAMTA. Then there's our famous BAMTA corner. So it changes, by the way. Every time I look at it, look, it has changed now, and the airplane is following, and now it has changed again. And now it has changed again. And it wants us MCP altitude rose up. It has already calculated we should fly to rose up. And that means it needs us to bring down. Oh my god, this is okay, so let's do it. I want to see what it does. But that is not looking promising, to be honest, because we're actually shortcutting. Is there a flyover or something like that? Yeah, okay, the waypoint is gone anyway. BAMTA has been discarded already. So even if I wanted to, I can't bring it back, at least not normally in the rose up /O. What is /O? What does that mean? So we're descending with 2,000 something, 3,000 almost feet per minute. Yeah, okay, so it calculates that to be necessary to be at flight level 150 or below at rose up. Well. And now I wonder if we get the rose up dance, which is basically it's trying to hit rose up and it will never hit it thing, which means I need to intervene. We shall see. Actually, that's a change to other aircraft. It is not at rose up, but it detected that it's close enough. Cool. It's now flying towards Bingo, which will take some time because it will have to bring this big bird around a very tight curve. But I have to say it's not doing too badly, apart from cutting it short that much. But yeah, that's what this Try&Fly is for. I want to see how it reacts when it comes to, let's say, interesting areas in your flight plan. That wasn't actually too bad. That was not bad at all, actually. There have been many aircraft that do require intervention here. So we are now at 150. So it's calculated that we need to be at or above 5,000 at MIQ. Now let's see where the top of descent the top of descent. It's not showing the top of descent here, right? Let's see. Do we get a top of descent here? Nope. So does that mean that was the top of descent and now it's yeah, it's in VNAV path mode, okay. Or VNAV alt mode at the moment. So now it's trying to get to Bingu. And that doesn't look good, to be honest. Let's see. You need to level off now. Come on. And now you need to get to the left. Ah, okay. So this is actually not bad. Because other add-ons which fail here, especially the default X-plane flight management, they need to get too close to the waypoint before they recognize that they need to switch, which leads into some kind of a race condition where it's trying to get close, but it can't because it's big and it just can't turn that fast, and then it will always try and get back to that waypoint. And also the strategies how to do that, especially in standard X-plane, are not very smart. So you end up having to intervene and give Landu or something like that as the next waypoint in order to resolve the situation, and then you're all over the place in that corner. So this one, it looked like it would do similar things, and then it turned out nope, it just flies close to it, not that close, and then it detects we have to get to the next waypoint. And that was actually quite graceful, I have to say. Kudos SSG and the maker of UFMC. I'm not a big fan of the UFMC, but that there was good. That was good. Now the question is, when do we need to provide the next altitude? Because, well, anyway, I'm going to bring it down to 5,000. What I want to see now is MIQ or Mike, we do not need to be at 5,000. We need to be at 5,000 or above. We need to be at 5,000 at Magat. Okay. So I'm wondering what the vertical path will look like and how early it will bring us down. So I'm already providing the 5,000, but I let it decide when it wants to descend. The question is, it's in VNAV alt mode. I think I need to click on that button to bring it into VNAV path mode. Okay. Yeah, if I wouldn't have done that now, it would have get stuck in this VNAV alt mode, and that means eventually we would be too high. Okie dokie. So is this some kind of descent indicator? Not that I can see. Maybe it will show up eventually. You know, this screen quarter circle here that shows you where you would end up with your descent. Honestly, for a payware, that's kind of a minimum. I would see as a minimum requirement that something like that is shown. You know, it's okay if the standard X-plane stuff doesn't do it, but if I have a custom-made FMC and a display, I would kind of expect that to see that. So unless it will show up eventually, I don't know. To be honest, I don't think it will come. It should be visible by now. Well then, we're climbing, we're descending very slowly at the moment. Let's continue here with this. Let's put it on 200. That's the minimum. And I sincerely hope everything is fine with the recording. I had some issues in the past week, which cost me a lot of lost time and yeah, some aggravation here in my home cockpit. Okay, let's see. So up here, I think everything is fine. Bugs are on. Yeah, cabin-wise, they kind of, yeah, that's what the cabin looks like. So, there's not a lot to see. You can open the door and then you kind of get to the... Now yeah, this is supposed to be the upper deck first class. I suppose that it is a bit bigger than the 747-400. I'm not sure where you actually walk up or down in here. Let's see. Ah, is this the stairs? Oh yeah, okay, here are the stairs in the 748. Now let's see if we can go down. Sometimes the modeling is such that you cannot see a model when you're not walking into it, but this looks pretty much like, yeah, okay. So apparently there's no lower deck. They just provided us with some fake, and that is probably the what's that actually? That's the area where you have your doors. Probably the lower galley or something like that. So being in the cabin of this aircraft isn't exactly great. So I have the feeling that this is not going to work out, because I know being at 10,000 at MIQ is, and descending that slowly, is not going to work out. I had that before. Which means I'm going to turn it off, and look, I mean it's descending with, it's far too slow. Ah, we have a descent indicator. Oh, that's good. And now you see I've changed to 1.8 for the descent. Ah, maybe the descent indicator only comes when we're not in VNAV path. Okay, fair enough. That's okay. But you can see that it was too slow in descending. If we are not at 5,000 at Magat, we'll never make it. It's as easy as that. And being at 10,000 and descending with 800 feet per minute will not work out. So we're getting a bit fast now. I'm going to reduce to the up speed. And we have some interesting dent here in the flight plan. We shall see how that works out. Okay, I think we can, oops, we can reduce again. That should do now. So the last airplane that took me down from 10,000 to 5,000 with 800 feet per minute didn't make the ILS. I had to go and go around. Right, now let's see if I go back to VNAV, what happens. Because it can't mess up now. We are basically now on the vertical path. Again. So now we're turning. Still not sure what light is causing. It is far too bright, and I somehow I'm not able to find which of the light switches. Oh, is it that there? Is there also one for the small one? Yeah, if yeah, but that one isn't moving. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, I should maybe bring the frames back on, because I lost that setting too. Yeah, 26, 27, 14, 12. Ooh, yeah, that's great. That's fantastic for online flying. I still have the full settings, because I'm testing with full settings, but definitely if I want to use this airplane online, I'm going to reduce my settings, use another profile, because yeah, this airplane eats frames for breakfast. So shouldn't we slow down? Yes, we should slow down, and therefore I'm going to do speed intervention here and bring it down, because hello, we're far too fast and we are at a strange angle here for Magat. I'm going to arm the approach. This ain't a flight factor, and it ain't a PMDG here. This is actually a mess. What it's doing now is a mess. Yeah, I had an idea when I saw these crooked lines. That's not the way you should intercept a runway on a standard instrument arrival in transition. So we need to get this bird slower. So localizer, glide slope, kind of captured. Or no, actually I see the glide slope. The localizer indication has disappeared. I'm guessing it has. It's land 3, it says. I'm going flaps 5, and I need to manage the speed myself, because it let us be far too fast. That wouldn't work out. And it's still not working out because we are actually here down. I need to get it slower. Did I actually set the reference speed? I think I didn't. Yeah. Okay, 145. Flaps 10. We are back with the localizer indication. Flaps 20. Let's put the speed brake in. Do I have to arm it? Yeah, but the question is, how do I arm it? Let's not arm it. And ooh, let's bring down the speed. Yeah, it's not automatic now because I took over. So it indicates land 3. And I'm going to let it if it will. 4. We have full flaps. We're coming down with the speed. Phew, looking good. Now let's see how it behaves on a land 3 fully automatic landing. Oh, auto brake. We're going to use auto brake 2. Oh, auto brake 1. Auto brake 2? Let's try auto brake 2. Slightly below the glide slope. I have VRF plus a little bit, but maybe I should put it on VRF just to see. Frames 27. Imagine now with a bit of bad weather this would be at 20 or below, and in VPilot we would already be in trouble, most likely. So you definitely need to scale down your graphics settings.
Approaching 0.8 left.
Mm-hmm. 0.8 left is correct.
500.
I'm not doing anything at the moment. I leave it at its own devices. Just have my arm on the throttle lever. Are we centered? Oh, almost.
200.
Minimums.
Okay, I think we are
30,
almost centered,
20,
yeah.
10.
Okay, I'm taking back the throttle levers and I go into reverse. Acceptable landing, 276. Good flare. So the Autoland works actually quite well. 60 knots. Reverse is off and manual braking. Oh yeah, that manual braking. And you need to probably turn the autopilot off, yeah. Because it has this kind of steering, automatic steering system. Are we still braking? No, auto brake is off. It has this automatic steering mode on Autoland where it keeps it in this along the center line. Okay, let's start the APU. Yeah, auto brake 2 is quite hefty. It decelerated pretty quickly. Let's get back into the center of the taxiway. Okay, let's bring back the flaps. Let's clean up. You need to drive a little bit further before you turn so that the rest of the aircraft has a chance to catch up. So auto brake 2 was yeah, was good because we ended up exactly here. That's actually where I wanted to end up, so that I don't have to taxi back towards the bridge here. Well, while we are rolling to our gate, I think it is an improvement, definitely, compared to the older ones. The older ones have grown over probably years. It was probably at least a couple of years that the version 1 was out. So the V2 is a complete rework according to SSG. When it comes to modeling, I can definitely confirm that. The modeling is better, it looks good. It is good. It is really acceptable. I mean, definitely better than the original one. When it comes to the systems, the sound is good as well. Yep. The navigation, the UFMC. To be honest, it seems to work somewhat okay, but there are still issues in it, and it's still kind of doing quirky things. The way to enter the sits and stars is a bit odd, and it's again like it did also in the old version. Why are we not? Oh. Why? Yeah. Let's. Let's use this gate. I'm not sure if this is the one for big airplanes like mine, but yeah. Where am I going? Oop. Yeah, I should have probably turned these ones off, including the strobes. This looks a little bit small for my big bird here. Doesn't matter. Yeah, the UFMC. I think that the FMC and the avionics, when it comes to navigation, is not the strongest point. It still isn't the strongest point in this aircraft. I think it has improved, yes. Stop. Okay. That wasn't the best taxiing. I think it has improved, definitely, but it's still. I think this is the weakest point in this aircraft, and a Try&Fly can't tell me how good it is on the long distance. You know how much trouble I would get flying really the long distance. That I can't tell you. Available. It should have switched, shouldn't it? Naja, doesn't matter. So, let's put the storm light on. Get some light and see if automatic. Yeah. Would you not? Looks like Sam doesn't have a profile for this aircraft, or can't. So the engines are definitely stopped. The APU is running. Oh, the beacon is still on, I think. Let's turn the beacon off. There we go. It's moving all the way to the other entry. Not bad. Yeah, so visually definitely a big improvement outside and inside, and I'm waiting for the cargo version, obviously. Now I heard again that this is going to be available soon, whatever soon means. And yeah, so because for me, actually, I don't want to do passenger flights. I want to do cargo flights with a Dash 8. So therefore, it would be kind of important for me that we get cargo flights. Now, what we need to do is we need to really get this aircraft into longer distances and full flights to see what happens, how it behaves on what the fuel consumption is like. Let me quickly check actually what the fuel consumption was. The trim is all the way down, is it? Is that the trim? Yeah, trim turbolizer is is at the lower end here. Fuel. So we have 16.7 left. 16.7 is left. We were supposed to have 16.8. We had 17.6 originally. $16.8, I think that's not too bad. The plan or the flight management computer has calculated it pretty on the spot there. Yeah. Okay. I need to figure out now how it really is when you fly in high altitudes and that long distance thing. How close it is to performance gets calculated, for example, by SimBrief, those kind of things. But yeah, it's quite good. It has less issues than I feared it would have, because the original version was a real bummer. It came out too early, as usual, you know, and the team had to work hard to overcome all these issues with navigation and all kinds of crashes and what have you, and performance issues. Performance is not great, I have to tell you. So here now in Munich, with the lights on in the dark, no clouds, no rain, we're looking at 23 on my rig. That's not exactly great. Let's add some rain into this mix. So I'm going to do severe precipitation. Let's see what that changes. See, okay, no, we're at 22. By the way, there's this LibRain plugin. I'm not sure if this is a good test. There's not very many clouds. Yeah, I think that's not the best test for it, because we're not in the air, and actually the field of view is very limited at the moment because we're at a building. So I would guess that when we're up in the air, most likely we're going to see a further degradation of the frames. I had this tested already. I had the aircraft placed in the air, and there I got below 20 in weather like this. But yeah, what you need to do is, at least for me, what I had to do is I put this on high, and I put it on, that's my online flying settings. Yeah, 2 times SSAA, FXAA, because I don't care about jittery lines when I'm flying online. It's more important that things go smooth. So these 2 settings allow me to continue normally. Let's get out of here. Oh, nice. So let's turn on the... yeah. Let's turn on the wipers if you ever get to hit that spot. There's a bit of a delay, right? So when the wiper comes, those wipers look strange, don't they? Are they like that? Oh well, possibly. Really? They look odd. Yeah, you can see the wiper is past and the drops kind of disappear after it Yeah, it's okay. It's a nice gimmick, this effect. I think the droplets are a little bit too big. Yeah, but I guess that's the thing with lip rain. I mean, they have their textures and so on. It's hard to actually adjust lip rain for your aircraft. I tried and I failed. Yeah, it didn't look very good when I did it. So it's not easy to adjust it so that it looks also good. But it's a nice gimmick. It's a gimmick. I don't consider it something that is absolutely important and a must. It looks nice, but yeah, I think we could have survived also without it. Now the other thing is we have 2 switches for wipers, but as you can see, no matter which of the wiper switches I use, it brings up both wipers. That's not quite accurate. Okay, I think we have enough now. It is a nice airplane. On this short flight, it behaved okay. The FMC is still not comparable with the flight factor, and definitely not with BMDG. You've seen it doing quirky things there on the approach, the calculations for vertical path, the path calculations. They change all the time. This is kind of moving target thing. It's not perfect. Now on a normal route without funny corners like the BAMTA corner, you probably won't have that many issues. But the approach is a standard approach. It's a standard approach that we do, and this crookedy thing at the end, I haven't got that with many aircraft, so it didn't really hit the spot. I would not have it fly automatically, this approach. As we've seen, it makes a botch job of it. It would be too high, and it would be not properly aligned early enough, so it would be kind of a rookie approach if I let it do it automatically. So I need to know that. That's exactly what Try&Fly is for. I know that now, so I would not rely on it to bring me all the way to the airport. I'm going to intervene in time and counteract any kind of funny areas. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. The SSG version 2.1 was kind of a yeah, I don't know how many years SSG is already in the market, but apparently they are in the business for quite some years. I think some of the early models of the 747 of Laminar came from SSG, from the team, if I get that correctly. Yeah, and they're concentrating on the 747, and they also have the Embraer jets. They're not that bad, you know. I mean, let's face it. The overall package is okay. At the moment, you can get it for about $40. I think it's about $40, which is not too bad. It's not that expensive. Okay, the full price I think is $60. Yeah. Well, they're still working on it. They're still fixing things. I'm expecting some patch to come out eventually and reduce the number of faults. So far, yeah, apart from the FMC, I think the rest worked reasonably fine. I couldn't really complain about what I've seen. The sound is good. The graphics are good. The light is a bit weird. Yeah, it is a bit difficult to get it look right, but eventually you will learn how all these light switches work, and I guess then it's fine. Right, another Try&Fly done. Yeah, time for me to stop here. Soon I have to start working again. At least I'm lucky and I still have work. But a lot of people out there that unfortunately, yeah, they have hard times now. So my heart goes out to them, and also to all those people that are really heavily affected by the virus, especially health-wise. I wish you all the best, and let's hope that we get through this, and let's stay at home. All right then, bye.